Welcome back, everybody, to PoolieMagTV, the raw, unedited, unscripted NUFC fan channel where everybody's got an opinion and nobody's opinion's wrong. So today is the aftermath of the Manchester City Newcastle United game from last night. I am donning the new home shirt of this season. I got it as a lovely leaving present from my old job. So I'm wearing it today with pride for a change, because the last few weeks haven't really give us much pride or much to shout about other than angry shouts, has it? But last night was how Newcastle need to play every week from now to the end of the season if we have any hope of getting into the Champions League. I just want to give a special shout out to Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento. What a difference having two athletic fullbacks makes to this team. Now, I was looking after my Poolie son, so I couldn't actually watch the full match, but I've watched Match of the Day, I've watched the extended highlights on YouTube, and I've seen enough where I can do a comprehensive review. We played absolutely fantastic. We played 10 to 15 yards further up the field. We had two fullbacks who basically, when we're on the attack, it's like having four wingers, which allows then Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes to come in a little bit, cut in and link with the midfield. You saw Bruno 5 to 10 yards further up the field. You saw Sandro Tonali 5 to 10 yards up the field. Joe Linton, still not great at passing the ball, but was a battering ram the way he should have been yesterday. And he still did some good moves and still had some good passes. Voltemade in the box, actually getting past two, running onto shots. Yes, he didn't score, but I'm more impressed with that performance than I have been of any of his other performances. He scored some great goals for us, but this is where he actually looked like he fitted into the team. This was the match where he looked like we knew how to play with him. Instead of just a fluke goal or a great bit of skill off the cuff, this looked like we actually knew how to play with Nick Voltemade. And that's promising, and it's also exciting. Nick Pope didn't put a foot wrong, so maybe he's having a solid back four might have made him concentrate a little bit better. Even he was coming out playing sweeper keeper, which he hasn't done for quite a while. Bruno was magnificent in the bits that I've saw of him, bombing into the box. I said that in the preview video, that we don't have midfielders bombing into the box. We certainly did last night. We certainly did. Sandro Tonali looked great again. Harvey Barnes, wow. This guy is so underrated by Newcastle fans. People love Anthony Gordon, and rightfully so. He had a great season. Really, what's he done the last year and a half for Newcastle? He hasn't been better than Harvey Barnes, I'll tell you that for now. Harvey Barnes links up better. He's got a better cross than him. He's got a better shot than him. He assists more and scores more. And if you give Harvey Barnes a run in this team, like he proved at the back end of last season, he will do damage to teams. And he did damage to Manchester City. First goal is typical Harvey Barnes. He sets the move up with Bruno. Bruno passes it to him and he just sweeps it into the bottom corner past Donnarumma. That should have been his hat-trick, by the way, because he missed one in the first minute, which is unlike him. And he also missed one that could have been offside, by the way, but it wasn't given offside. It was a tap-in and he missed that. So obviously he's got his head back on, and he's come out in the second half and he's produced the performance that he needs to keep his place. Because Anthony Gordon, he might be injured or whatever, but he's just not the player he once was for us. I think Harvey Barnes is much more dangerous. He links up much better. And I prefer Harvey Barnes on the left wing, especially when you've got Lewis Hall. He hasn't got Dan Burn, who, when you've got Dan Burn and Kieran Trippier as your fullbacks who've got no legs, if they get up, the full team then automatically comes back to cover them, because they know they can't come. They know they ain't going to be able to get up and run back. So you're always worried about the counter with Trippier and Burn. And that's got to affect your right wing in Jacob Murphy, and it's got to affect your left wing in Harvey Barnes or Anthony Gordon, because they're playing further back than what they would like to. When you know you've got an athletic wing back who can go in behind you, you know you've always got that option. And when Lewis Hall's going in behind the defence, doing an overlap, that creates a space for Harvey Barnes then to cut into the middle, which he did quite a lot. So did Jacob Murphy. Another great game from him. And it allows them to link up with the midfield. They're not isolated on the wing. They're not isolated trying to cover their left back or cover their right back. And that's why I think Anthony Elanga will do well given a run of games, because this is the type of football we like. He would like to play further up the field, more fast-paced, no methodical. Wasn't methodical last night. It was very in your face. The press was back. This would suit Anthony Elanga down to a T. He needs to find some confidence. He needs to find some rhythm. And at the minute, he ain't getting over Jacob Murphy. That was Jacob Murphy's best game in a Newcastle shirt in a very long time. And that's because he had a right back who he could trust to get up and down the field. So it leaves Jacob Murphy further up the field. He's not having to track back as much to cover Kieran Trippier. Harvey Barnes isn't having to track back as much to cover Dan Burn. It leaves them further up the field. And that's where Newcastle are at the best. This is the blueprint now. Unless we obviously get injuries and we have to tweak things. But if we have a full squad for the rest of the season, you can interchange some players. I'd still like to see Aaron Ramsdale, get a game. I really would. I thought Pope did really well yesterday. But I'd still worry about Pope long term. I thought Joe Linton did really well. But it'd be nice to see Lewis Marley or Jacob Ramsey get a game. Especially playing this way. Jacob Ramsey would suit playing this way. Further up the field. He's a creative midfielder. He's a ball-travelling midfielder. He would do really well. But I can't knock any of the performances yesterday. Fabian Schär come in, did a job. Should have given away a penalty, by the way. I'm not biased. That was a penalty. I don't care if Phil Foden had already shot. That was a penalty. But other than that, he did well. Malik Chow is just like a Rolls Royce, isn't he? Let's get on to Malik Chow for a little bit. So he comes in the summer for 30-odd million from AC Milan. And you think, right, I watched him on YouTube. I'd seen him bits. I watched bits of Serie A. I'm not a Serie A aficionado, I don't know everything about Serie A. But it does interest me because I used to watch it as a kid on Channel 4. And it's always stuck with me. So I like the Italian football. So I've seen bits of Chow and he looked good. He looked okay. He wasn't now flash. And you're thinking, with 30-odd million, yeah, well, let's take a punt on it. Wow. What a defender he is. He's got to be up there as the best centre-back in the country at the minute. He's got to be. People will always, Virgil van Dijk. Well, look at how shit he's playing. And they're still on about how great he is. He hasn't been great for about 3 years. Let's be honest. But because he plays for Liverpool, and blah. Malik Chow is the best defender, best centre-back, I believe, in the Premier League at the moment. And with a back four that he can rely on and all, you'll only see better from Malik Chow. That tackle against Erling Haaland yesterday, where he just thought, nah, you ain't getting past me, son. You're not getting past me at all. And he didn't. And he had Erling Haaland most of the match in his back pocket. How many defenders can say that? Not many. Malik Chow is an absolute Rolls Royce. But Tino and Lewis all coming back into this team. You've got to hope now that Dan Burn does not play at left back anymore unless Lewis Hall gets injured again. I know he went off with cramp, but he should be all right. He's not used to an intense... I know he's played for England under 21s. He's come on little bits, but that was intense last night against Man City. You ain't going to get much more intense than a Man City game, put it that way. Because no matter how weak they are at points at the back, going forward, they will still create. They always dominate the ball, so you're always running in a Man City match because you don't have possession of the ball all the time. So and when you're hitting on the counter, you're up and down. So I can understand why Lewis Hall come off with cramp. But I don't think that will, deter him from starting against Marseille on Wednesday or is it Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday, Marseille. And then next week we've got Everton away. We don't really do well against Everton away. We just don't. So this is, if we play like this against Everton away, we'll beat them. We've got to play like this away from home. I'm not getting too carried away. It was a fantastic win. As I've mentioned, some absolutely wonderful performances. Betting Nick Voltemada's best performance in a Newcastle shirt. And Newcastle's best performance with Nick Voltemada. Because we actually looked like we knew how to play with him. That's exciting. It must be exciting for Nick Voltemada. The fact that he had 3 or 4 big chances. Yes, he didn't score, and you think, well, is that a good thing? Because he's in the right place. He's going to score when he's in the right place. That's more exciting than scoring a flick or a long ranger or whatever. You know, they don't happen all the time. Your bread and butter's in the box, and he was in the box more often than not. And that's that's the big thing I can see. Bruno bombing, busting a gut to get in. Tonali just dictating. Joe Linton, really good game from Joe Linton. Can't fault them from what I saw. Chow, brilliant. All in Livramento. They've got to be England's best fullbacks. They've got to be England's starting fullbacks in the next couple of years. I don't care what you say. Jacob Murphy, best performance in a Newcastle shirt in a very long time. Brilliant on the ball. You know, brilliant crosses in. And Harvey Barnes, man of the match. 9 out of 10. It's got to be. It's got to be a 9 out of 10 from him. Eddie Howe, well done, you know, because you've tweaked a few things, you've got your players back, and, you know, that was a fantastic result. But it's one, we've got 3 in a week. Let's see if we can make it 3 wins in a row. But last night was a 10 out of 10 performance from Newcastle United. That's how we need to play for the majority of the season. I know we can't play like that every match. No team can. But for the 80% of what's left of this season, we need to be playing like that. Guaranteed we will finish in the top 5 if we do. Anyway, massive result for us. Leaves us 3 points away from the Scousers, 4 points away from the Mackhams. So, all's not too bad, is it? Because the Mackhams have had a great season. We're only 4 points behind them. And Liverpool are in free fall. There'll be 2 teams that I can't stand in the league. So, I always like to look at them, you know, and see how close we are to them. Hopefully, we surpass both of them in the near future. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend and keep it black and white and keep it PoolieMagTV over and out.